Right. So, YouTube video time, huh? I mean, I don't even really try to do YouTube videos anymore. I stopped a long time ago. Um, in fairness, I never really gave it like a proper attempt. I've tried a few times over the years, various different ideas, and it's never really worked. And I used to be like bitter or upset about that, but now I'm not. I enjoy making content, to be perfectly honest. For those who don't know who I am, and you're like, well, who is this guy? Why should I care? Basically, I'm an actor, voice actor, podcaster, musician, content creator, chasing a lot of different things. With content creation, I suppose the journey kind of starts maybe it's about 10 years ago. Like next week, I will be celebrating 10 years on YouTube. And it's funny because a lot of people, when they post their like 10 years on YouTube thing, right? They've normally achieved some level of success by that point. Maybe there was that one big video that made them, or they got shouted out by another YouTuber and that made their career, or maybe they just, worked so tirelessly over the years that they just built up a hardcore following and they've deserved it. And props to everyone that ever achieved that, really. Honestly, it is hard. It really is. And look, this video is all about views. Most people that know me know that I tend to do videos in long form. This is kind of my thing. Sometimes that's ranting, sometimes that's just breaking down a topic like I do with my podcasts and stuff. Sometimes it's just kind of my thoughts on the spot. I don't know. And that's kind of what my YouTube videos have become in more recent times. On the rare occasion that I actually post one, I'll normally have like an idea in my mind that I want to talk at length about that is too long to be like a TikTok video or whatever, but it's like definitely too short to be like a podcast. So YouTube video fits quite nicely. And given that I don't have to worry about chasing things like sponsors, or I don't have to worry about like what the advertisers might say or do or whatever, like I don't earn any money from this. And even if I did, I think I would still do it the same way, because there's nothing I hate more than being told what I can and can't do. Like that just drives me nuts. It always has, always will. I'm stubborn, so that kind of rings true in whatever I do. If I don't want to do something, I just won't do it. But bringing it back to the content thing, like I've tried a lot of things over the years to get views. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that I've never not cared about views. I think everyone does. I mean, if you're putting your content out there, then you're definitely caring that some people watch it or listen to it. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? You want some people to see it and hear it. Like you want that. You need that. Even if people think it's trash and they tell you it's trash, I feel like that's better than just apathy. Now, my content journey over the years has been kind of interesting, because it's kind of been like but never like any success or anything that I could really hang my hat on and be like, that's an achievement. There was kind of one blip in time on TikTok where I got like a viral video and I was like, oh, this is it. This is the beginning, right? Everything's going to change now. I'm going to become this big, super successful content creator, right? And then it didn't happen. But I got a following from it online. A very small following, but a following nonetheless. And it's beautiful. It's a bunch of really lovely people coming together, being nice to each other, really like pushing each other, motivating each other, right? And that, if nothing else, makes all the effort throughout the years worth it. I've kind of gone back and forth in how I feel about things. Sometimes I've focused more on views and statistics, analytics and stuff. Other times I'm less enthused and I'm like, whatever, I just put it out, right? Like right now, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, let's keep it going. Let's just keep putting stuff out there. But one thing, quite honestly, that I've gone back and forth with is my love of the content. Sometimes I've been so kind of disheartened by the fact that something that I've worked really, really hard on and I really believe in just doesn't get any attention at all. And then other times I look at it like, well, even if like 5 people viewed that thing or listened to that thing, that's 5 people. Like, a good way to look at it, to visualize it, is to imagine that you have like, you're sitting in a room on a stage maybe, and you've got like 5 people in the room watching you, listening to you. Yeah, it's not 50,000, but that's 5 people. And if you were in that room, that'd be maybe a little bit nerve-wracking, you know? I mean, it doesn't really faze me. I think throughout the years with acting and performing and stuff, I've kind of grown accustomed to being in front of people, right? I don't get like nervous, is my point. But nonetheless, you're performing for those people. You're like, well, there's 5 people here. I need to put on a show for these people. And I think that here online, it's no different. And I guess that the whole reason why I wanted to do this video, other than to just kind of ramble on, as I always do, about a particular topic, was I've seen like a lot of people online complain about views, right? Now, there's kind of like 2 clear paths that I've seen people take. I mean, and look, this is just generalizing. There's plenty of other mindsets that people have, but there's 2 that kind of irritate me a little bit. There's your people who are capped at one particular, amount of views. So maybe they get like 200, as they say on TikTok, which is what I'm at the moment. Like, every video I post, I get about 200 views, which I think that's kind of impressive. Maybe not. Maybe to other people that'd be like, oh, that's nothing, dude. But I think it's pretty cool that I can quite confidently put a video out and it will definitely get 200 views. That's kind of cool. I think that's interesting. I think that's something to be, I was going to say savoured. That's a weird thing to say. To be, I would savour it. Savour it. It's good. It tastes good. No, no, that's something to be revered. I think that's something to pat yourself on the back and be like, hey, that's cool. People check it out, and some people find some interest in it. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, I've got this little community that checks stuff out, and that's really awesome, and that's really kept me motivated when it comes to like doing a podcast, which I've been doing, going into year 4 now, and I'm close to 250 episodes, and I think this is why I'm thinking more and more about views, because I'm thinking like, what if it gets to like 500 and like still there's only like 3 people listening? Like, that would just be mad. In a way, that would kind of be hilarious, like in a sad way, because I don't know, I feel like the show deserves more recognition. I put a lot of hard work into it, but that's the thing, hard work doesn't guarantee success. Hard work gives you like an opportunity, gives you a chance, but it doesn't guarantee anything. A lot of what I'm hearing across everything I do in acting, music, whatever, it's always, you got to be in the right place at the right time in front of the right people, right? That's always what I hear. And every now and again, I'll get excited about an opportunity that I'm part of, or, oh, this certain person has noticed me, maybe they'll share my content, or maybe these people will check this stuff out, or maybe this person will refer me, and like, none of those things ever happen, but it's fun to get excited nonetheless. I think that's better than just kind of dragging yourself around like a dead carcass going, oh, everything sucks, everything's rubbish. And believe me, I've done that. That's the thing. I'll happily sit here and tell you that I've been that guy that was miserable and self-loathing and all that. I'll never sit here and be like, I've never had that attitude, because of course I have. That's being human, isn't it? You go through different phases in your life, different mindsets, you grow, you change, you evolve. I think for me, turning 30 was like a big deal. I was thinking about this the other day, that I had to kind of drop this younger mindset that I had in the past and just kind of fully embrace being an adult and everything that comes with that. And I think when it comes to looking at content creation, it's same thing. You got to value what you have, not what you don't have. And I get that that's easier said than done. And for anyone that's watching this right now and you're in the same boat as me and like your content just never gets any views, I mean, at the end of the day, even just a handful of views, man, that's better than nothing. Bringing it back to the point earlier that I said there was 2 paths. You've got your people that are capped at like 200 views a video, or 500 views, or 1,000 every time, right? The other people, this is kind of why I wanted to do the video in the first place. It'll be like, I'll be watching on YouTube, right? and I'll see someone complaining about like, oh, I get 100 listens to my podcast every time. There's no one listening at all. And it's like, you've got 100 people listening every single time. I struggle to get 3 views. I struggle to get those 3 people to pay attention. You know? Yeah. How can you be complaining about 100? That's 100 people. Going back to the room scenario that I brought up earlier. If you had 100 people in a room, that's a pie. That's huge. That's brilliant. That's amazing. You got 100 people captivated. Now, I realize that might not actually be 100 people. It might be, you know, like more realistically like 40 people, and then a bunch of those are impressions. But whatever. Like, still, there's going to be a sizable chunk of people checking out your stuff. So I feel like, you know, you got to kind of be grateful for that. You got to kind of embrace that to some extent. And this comes from experience, because I have complained about views in the past, and it never got me anywhere. It made me sad thinking about and dwelling on the fact that I wasn't getting a lot of views. And every now and again, because my audience is quite vocal, people would say things. People would make comments like, hey, well, we're here. And it's like, yeah, you are here. And it's good to be reminded of that. Because that's the thing. If you keep telling your audience, like, oh, no one listens, no one cares, and then there's those 5 people that do care, eventually those 5 people will be like, well, I guess I'll just leave because this person just doesn't appreciate me, you know? So you need to, like, appreciate the people that are there. And I think make the content for them. Make it for you, because that's why you started doing it in the first place, you know? But also do it for the few people that are there, whether that's 5 people, 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. Like, my gosh, I see these content creators, right, that have millions of views, and they're complaining that they got like 100,000 less views in the last month. And it's like, yeah, look, I can see that sucks, and I understand it's your livelihood, but like, you've still got like hundreds of thousands, millions of people watching and viewing your content. That's just the nature of business, buddy. Sometimes you're gonna have dips. You know, you can't be the most successful restaurant in town 24/7. You know, sometimes people are going to go to other restaurants. You know, sometimes people might not fancy pasta every day of the week. You know, you have to factor those things into account. It's something I have to remind myself, like, hey, my audience is busy sometimes. Sometimes I turn up to a Twitch stream and there's no one there. And it's like I'm reminded of 4 years ago when I first started. You know, these things happen. These things happen. And you just have to be grateful for what you have and keep working hard. You know, work hard for those views. And who knows, maybe more views will come in the future. I don't know. But I think it's important to be grateful for what you have and to not complain. Because if you do, that just drives away the people that do care. So I think to end this in a nice way, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that does view my content. View my content? That's a word. Watches my yeah, there you go. That watches my content, that listens to my podcasts, that comes in the live streams. I love you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.